Midgard, the realm of mortals, stood as a rugged and cold expanse, a land of towering mountains, dense forests, and ancient ruins left by the gods and giants who once walked among men. The frozen rivers ran through the land like veins, their icy waters reflecting the pale sunlight that barely warmed the world. Midgard was steeped in myth, every shadow and every whisper carrying the weight of forgotten tales and unseen creatures. The Norse gods, powerful and indifferent, played their games from distant realms, leaving mortals to struggle and survive. But in these lands, there was one figure who defied the gods' indifference, a figure whose name carried the weight of vengeance and war: Kratos, the god of war. Kratos, once a man, now a god, had walked the path of vengeance across Greece, leaving Olympus in ruins. The Ghost of Sparta, the slayer of gods, had fled to Midgard, seeking a new life with his son Atreus. Yet even here, in the frozen lands of the Norse, peace was elusive. His past haunted him, and the gods of this realm saw him as an outsider, a threat. With the Leviathan axe in hand, a weapon as powerful as it was ancient, Kratos fought to protect his son and navigate the challenges of this new world. His years in Midgard had hardened him further, the scars of battles old and new marking his body and soul. He had faced many foes, both mortal and divine, but none like the one who now stalked him from the shadows. The Yautja, a species renowned across the galaxies for their prowess as hunters, thrived on the thrill of the hunt and the honor of the kill. Among them, there existed a select few who had endured for centuries, their survival a testament to their unmatched skill and cunning. These were the Ancient Yautja. With over 1,000 years of experience, this particular Ancient Yautja was a living legend, a warrior who had survived countless hunts across the stars, taking trophies from the deadliest of creatures. His gear was ornate, adorned with the bones and symbols of his many victories, each piece a mark of his high status among his kind. Unlike the younger, more impetuous hunters, this Ancient Yautja was patient, calculating, and far more dangerous. His armor, a shimmering blend of advanced technology and ancient design, offered both protection and stealth. His mask, intricately carved and decorated, housed advanced targeting systems, thermal vision, and a language decoder, allowing him to understand his prey's speech. His weapons were equally formidable: a plasma caster that could incinerate foes in a single shot, a combi stick that extended into a deadly spear, and the infamous wrist blades, sharp enough to cut through the strongest armor. But his most prized possession was the smart disc, a razor-sharp, boomerang-like weapon that returned to him after eviscerating his enemies. This Yautja did not hunt for sport, he hunted to prove he was the ultimate predator. For weeks, the Ancient Yautja had been observing Kratos from the shadows, analyzing his every move, his fighting style, his strength, and his vulnerabilities. He had seen the Ghost of Sparta in battle, watching as Kratos felled trolls, draugr, and even gods with ease. The Yautja recognized a kindred spirit, a warrior who thrived in battle, whose rage and strength were unmatched. This was no ordinary prey. This was a challenge, perhaps the greatest he had ever faced. The Yautja marked Kratos as his ultimate goal, the final trophy that would cement his legacy among his kind. The Yautja struck at dawn, the cold light of the sun barely breaking through the mist that clung to the forest. Kratos was alone, separated from Atreus, who had gone to gather supplies. The ground trembled as the massive form of the Yautja materialized from the shadows, his cloaking device disengaging to reveal the towering figure, clad in ancient armor, his dreadlocks swaying in the icy breeze. Kratos sensed the presence before he saw it, turning just in time to see the plasma bolt searing through the air toward him. Kratos dodged, the plasma bolt narrowly missing him and exploding against a tree, shattering it into splinters. The Ghost of Sparta wasted no time, summoning the Leviathan axe to his hand and charging at the Yautja. The Yautja met him head-on, his wrist blades gleaming as they slashed through the air, clashing against the axe in a shower of sparks. The force of the impact sent shockwaves through the ground, the earth cracking beneath their feet. The Yautja was fast, faster than any foe Kratos had faced in Midgard. He moved with a fluidity that belied his size, striking with precision and ferocity. Kratos, however, was relentless. He fought with the fury of a man who had nothing left to lose, his rage fueling his strength as he swung the Leviathan axe with bone-crushing force. The Yautja parried, his armor absorbing the blows, but even he could feel the power behind each strike. The battle raged across the forest, the two warriors moving with blinding speed, their weapons tearing through trees and rocks as they fought. The Yautja fired his plasma caster, the bolt searing through the air, but Kratos deflected them with the axe, the energy dissipating against the enchanted metal. The Yautja switched tactics, activating his smart disc and hurling it at Kratos. The disc flew with deadly accuracy, slicing through the air toward Kratos' head. But the god of war was ready. He caught the disc mid-flight, his immense strength stopping its deadly spin, and with a roar he hurled it back at the Yautja. The disc struck the Yautja, cutting through his armor and embedding itself in his shoulder. The Yautja roared in pain but remained undeterred. He ripped the disc from his flesh, the wound already beginning to heal, and charged at Kratos with renewed fury. The two collided again, their strength and skill pushing each other to the limit. Kratos summoned the blades of chaos, the fiery chains wrapping around the Yautja, pulling him close. The Yautja retaliated, plunging his wrist blades into Kratos' side, the serrated edges cutting deep. The fight was brutal, each combatant giving no quarter. Kratos, bleeding and battered, knew he had to end it quickly. The Yautja was resilient, his ancient armor and advanced technology giving him the edge. But Kratos had faced gods and monsters before, and he would not be defeated by a mere hunter, no matter how formidable. With a mighty roar, Kratos unleashed the Spartan rage, his body surging with power. He grabbed the Yautja by the throat, lifting the massive creature off the ground, and slammed him into the earth with earth-shattering force. The Yautja struggled, his wrist blade slashing at Kratos, but the god of war was unstoppable. He plunged the Leviathan axe into the Yautja's chest, the enchanted blade cutting through armor and flesh, embedding itself in the predator's heart. The Yautja let out one final roar, a sound that echoed through the forest, a cry of defiance and respect. His hand twitched, reaching for his final weapon, a self-destruct device embedded in his wrist gauntlet. But Kratos, recognizing the danger, ripped the device from the Yautja's arm and crushed it underfoot. The Ancient Yautja, a hunter who had survived 1,000 battles, lay dead at the feet of the god of war. Kratos stood over the fallen warrior, his breath heavy, his body covered in blood. He knew this was no ordinary foe, but a being of immense power and honor. For a moment, Kratos felt a pang of respect for the fallen predator, acknowledging the strength and skill that had brought them both to the brink of death. The forest was silent once more, the only sound the wind rustling through the trees. Kratos retrieved the Leviathan axe, its blade still dripping with the blood of the Yautja. The battle had been fierce, a test of strength, skill, and endurance that few could have survived. But in the end, Kratos, the god of war, had emerged victorious. As he walked away from the battlefield, Kratos knew that this would not be the last time he faced such a challenge. The gods, the monsters, the hunters, they would all come for him, seeking to claim the life of the Ghost of Sparta. But he would be ready. He had fought and won against gods, titans, and now, even the greatest hunter the stars had ever known. And so, the legend of Kratos grew, the tale of his battle with the Ancient Yautja becoming another chapter in the epic saga of the god of war. Midgard, the land of the Norse gods, would remember this day as the day two titans clashed, and only one walked away. The Yautja, though fallen, had found the honor he sought in death, a worthy opponent who had fought him to the very end. And Kratos, once again, proved that he was more than a man, more than a god. He was a force of nature, an unstoppable warrior who would fight until his last breath. As the Ancient Yautja lay dead on the cold ground, his body cooling under the pale light of the sun, a faint beeping sound emanated from his gear. Kratos paused, his instincts alert to any potential danger. But this was no self-destruct sequence. Instead, the Yautja's helmet, still adorned with its ancient carvings and advanced technology, began to glow with a soft, pulsating light. Unbeknownst to Kratos, the Yautja's gear had recorded the entire battle, the clash of blades, the roars of fury, the final moments of the fight. This data was now being transmitted across the cosmos, beamed back to the Yautja homeworld and received by the elders, the most revered leaders of the Predator clans. They watched in silence as the battle unfolded before them, witnessing their ancient kin's death at the hands of the Ghost of Sparta. The Yautja elders were not like the younger hunters who sought glory and trophies through reckless hunts. They were wise, tempered by millennia of experience. They knew that this Kratos, this god-slayer, was unlike any prey they had encountered before. The recording of the battle sent by their fallen brother was both a warning and a testament to the warrior's strength. As Kratos walked away, leaving the fallen Yautja behind, the winds of Midgard whispered through the trees. The story of his battle would be told for generations, but the question remained, would the peace last? Would the Yautja now seek for revenge or honor? Or was this just the beginning of a new chapter in the saga of the god of war? Only time would tell if Kratos' worthiness would grant him a reprieve or draw even greater challenges from the depths of the cosmos. But one thing was certain: Kratos, the Ghost of Sparta, would be ready.